Ladies and gentlemen, recently Arknights just released a second 6-star blast caster after 7 years. And she is a new character, called Aphrissa. Also known as Crazy Blonde American Scientist, number 2. And today, I'll show you what she can do in her gameplay, so you'll have a better idea whether to save for her or not. Alright, Aphrissa is a blast caster. A caster whose attack range is a long straight line. And each attack can hit all enemies inside, making her a good unit to be used in a choke point, with only a single way in for the enemies. However, this archetype is known to be awkward to use. The kind of choke point where you can fully utilize her range doesn't always exist. Although in this day and age, you can argue that Nasty can fix that issue. But even if you somehow fix her clunky attack range, she still has typical archetype issues like her big cost and slow attack speed. And honestly, what makes Aphrissa the first 6-star blast caster heavily used and relevant for a lot of years is because the devs put on a lot of broken abilities on her kit. So what about Aphrissa? Well, in Rissa's talent 1, she already has something to fix her attack range awkwardness. She can deploy something called the repeater, which acts as both her range extender and something to redirect her attack. Yes, similar to Lingering Echo's event mechanic, you can use this to redirect her beam attack to hit another lane, giving her a bit more flexibility. Moreover, if the repeater is on the field, Rissa will get an attack buff. However, you normally only get one repeater, it doesn't last forever, and the repeater has a pretty long cooldown. As for her talent 2, Rissa will buff all friendly operators in her range. Now they will ignore 10 points of enemy resistance, and this should include Rissa herself. It's quite nice, especially to buff Arts Damager who has a wide range or even global range. Next, let's see her skills. Her skill 1 is a nice AFK skill. This will permanently increase her attack, and now the repeater will stay forever on the field. A really straightforward skill. It's definitely the recommended choice if you don't want to be hassled by her repeated duration and cooldown. Although this skill does lack the firepower that her other skills provide. As for skill 2, Rissa will fire a beam that practically has infinite range, which can cover the entire map. The beam has a damage multiplier and deals damage every 0.5 seconds, which is good for hit count check enemies. Additionally, the beam can be redirected using other operators. A nice DPS skill, and it also lessens the burden of using and managing her repeater. But you definitely need to plan ahead of your operator positioning, especially since the beam duration is quite short. Lastly, her skill 3. She will stop attacking for a few seconds and recall all of the repeaters on the field. She will then gain 3 repeaters to be used on the map, and gain a couple of offensive buffs, as well as her attack inflicting a very short slow effect. You are also encouraged to use her repeater here, because if an attack passes through a repeater, her attack will deal extra damage and extend the slow duration. Although she is still far from a reliable stalling unit. For better or worse, this skill uses an ammo mechanism. She will get 20 ammo, and the repeater stays forever until all ammunition is used. Damage wise, it's quite good, but well, it cannot defeat a phase 1 Patriot. But Aphrissa's use is more towards clearing crowds, so I won't complain. So ladies and gentlemen, that is Aphrissa. What do you think? She is definitely not some broken, busted, meter caster. But I think she's a decent caster and crowd handler. The way we can redirect her attack is also a nice thing to tinker with when playing. Some players might appreciate this kind of gameplay more, than just straight up deleting the map with Wang or Walter. However, her debut banner is the embodiment of bad timing. She is literally choked between limited. Before here, there's Kelsey Alter and Monster Hunter collaboration. Then right after Rissa, we will get a summer/anniversary limited. And unless you do like her outside of gameplay stuff, it's always wiser to save up for limited characters. That should be all. Adios.